Hi guys, it's been a little while since I've seen you. I've been on holiday and, trying to sort out things around the home. Here I am with a very important review, a review that the teenager in me has been screaming for, and I'm sure a lot of you have been expecting from me because, the whole reason that I got into the music I like is this band, and that is, of course, from the title of the video, I'm sure you're not surprised, Synthesis by Evanescence. I needed this, thank you so much, Emily, for this, because I needed Evanescence to get back together in my life. I just needed that. That was something we all wanted. Anyways, so yeah, ridiculous fangirl, nearly in tears aside, what do you get with the edition of Synthesis that Vicky has? Let's have a look. So this is the cover. It is like the cardboardy style that a lot of CDs are coming out in now, which I like. So you've got your track listing on the back, and as you can see it's certificated, and that is because it comes with a DVD, or at least the edition that I have did. I ordered this from Amazon. It was about £15, and I pre-ordered this, and it came out on a Friday, but it didn't actually come to me until Monday. So it was a little bit late, but not as late as Amazon have been in some previous pre-orders that we've had, Epica maybe. So not my worst pre-order. I have listened to this obviously since, and I've been watching the DVD, and I'm here to give you my thoughts. So you open it up and there's some lovely pictures of the lovely Amy Lee. For some reason we don't get her full face on this, but maybe that's a hint to the t-shirt that is out. And then you open it up again and you get your two discs. So this is the CD album and this is the DVD album. The main thing of this DVD is the documentary from the inside, and this is how Synthesis was made, and just people in the recording studio telling you about the album. But you do also get a photo gallery of the recording, so pictures of Amy playing the piano, things like that. You also get the album in a surround version, so you can watch it on TV with your surround speakers and things. I've listened to that version, amazing. You get an instrumental version of the album on the DVD as well, and you get the score. I can't think what it was then. You get the score of the album, so you can see the actual musical notes and you could learn to play it yourself, but that is a DVD-ROM feature only, so you have to put it into a computer in order to get the score. Which, to be honest, for the money, I'm pretty happy with what I got. I feel like I've got £15 worth of Evanescence goodness here. The documentary on the DVD is a little bit short, but I think that's just because I want more. It's not like, you don't expect to be getting an hour documentary or anything. I think it's about 30 minutes. I can't remember exactly. It might even be less than that. But it was good, it was people talking about how they got into recording for the album, a lot of the orchestra people, and obviously Amy talking about how she's so happy that she's got 100% creative control over this album. It's all Amy, literally everything in this album is Amy, which I think we all knew that's what she wanted, and we all knew that Amy was such a perfectionist when it came to Evanescence that it just makes sense for her to be able to completely control what goes on. We all trust her to do so. There was a nice little thing where I don't know if it's as a spoiler, but there was a nice little bit with Amy's harp teacher in there, and there was the different members of the band talking about their contributions to Synthesis. So it was a nice little DVD, and I enjoyed watching it, obviously, and listening to it. Sorry, I've left my notes a bit too far away. So I wrote notes whilst I was listening to it, whilst I was watching it, whatnot, just so that I could get everything out there, get all my feelings out. So, the album itself, you get a mixture of old tracks that they've remade and new tracks. A lot of the new tracks are instrumental pieces, and they're kind of like extra endings / beginnings to the songs either side of them, so it makes them all flow nicer together, and it's it's extending the songs more to make it more of a full symphony, which I appreciate and I enjoyed. I don't think you should really listen to them without the rest of the album, because they might not really make a lot of sense on their own, and they're not very long either, so it's not like you're getting a full piece out of it. So you know, the instrumental new songs are definitely, you need this album in order to understand and appreciate them. Then there is 2 original full songs. There is High Low, which features the internet violinist Lindsay Sterling, and there is Imperfection, which is like the big single that they've been selling this album off. So High Low, it's a very Evanescence song. Like I mean, they're all very Evanescence songs, I'm not gonna lie, you know, there's nothing in here that I'm like, oh. But like, it just, that song could have fit into other albums as maybe not quite as orchestral as it is, but like you could see it being like a piano song of Amy. So I enjoyed it. It's got some beautiful vocals on it. The violin solo is very cool on it. I don't really know a lot about violins, you know, they're not really in a lot of songs that I listen to. Obviously I like symphonic metal, so they're there, but they're not the feature. So it was nice to have that as a featured instrument, as something a little bit different. Imperfection is the song that like really is the song that I want to talk about on this album in general, and that is because obviously it's the big song that they've been sent off. It's the single, they've got a music video for it, go out and watch it. And I didn't really particularly like it at first, and this is why. The verses to me don't fit with the chorus. That chorus is one of the best pieces of music I have ever heard. I adore that chorus. I could just listen to Amy sing that chorus for hours on end and I wouldn't need anything else. I would be probably quite happily just to sit and watch an entire concert of just that. But the verses are a bit weird with Amy's like rapping, as my boyfriend pointed out when I was listening to it. He was like, are you listening to a hip hop Evanescence song? And I was like, oh, this is a new single. And he was just like, I don't think I like it. And my friend, when I was talking to him, he said something kind of similar, but the more you listen to it, and the more you listen to it as an album as a whole, it makes more sense. But that chorus really does save that song. It's amazing. I love it. It brings like chills to my spine, and it gives me the goosebumps. And you know, that chorus is everything. And this entire album is worth it just for that piece of snippet of song. So yes, whilst Imperfection isn't going to be my favourite Evanescence song anytime soon, that chorus is one of my favourite things in music ever. So it's a bit of a shame that the verses are kind of like weirdly rapped. I don't think it quite suits Amy's voice, but that's just me. We can chat about this if you want. Tell me your opinions. Do you understand what I'm saying, or do you want to defend it? Whatever. Let's talk. So yes, so they're the new songs on the album. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at my notes. So the older songs, the like, you know, the ones that they've revamped to put on this album, I kind of had to adjust myself to listen to them because I'm so used to hearing them the way they are on their original albums, which, you know, it's not an issue. It's just, it was a bit of a shock to my memory of the songs. I don't know, to listen to them that way. And some songs took me a little bit longer to get into than others. I'm going to talk about the 2 big songs, and by that I mean Bring Me to Life and My Immortal, my 2 favourites, and by that I mean least favourites by Evanescence. Bring Me to Life doesn't have male vocals in it, and I applaud that. I am so happy with that. It's very brave, if you ask me, because Evanescence's entire career was based on adding a man into that song to get them noticed. And so the fact that they've released an official version of that song with no male vocals in them whatsoever, I am very happy, and well done Amy for getting what you finally wanted out of that song, because she didn't want the extra vocals in there. It was never intended to have a man in it. It was always intended to be just Amy, because that's what the band was. They didn't have a male vocalist really. Ben did a little bit of backing vocals from time to time, but that was it. So I'm happy that Bring Me to Life finally has an official, recorded, released with a, you know, proper album, not on an EP or anything, version of Bring Me to Life. That is the way that Amy wants it to be. I'm very happy with that. I'm also very happy that My Immortal doesn't have the ridiculous band bit anymore. I know the original version that's on Fallen, if you have the first release of Fallen, doesn't, and I much prefer that one to the one that everyone knows. But yeah, I don't like it when the band kicks in My Immortal. It annoys me. and so I'm very happy that they kind of kept it all to the same scale. They didn't make the orchestra like proper kick in at the end. It stuck to its tone, and I appreciated that. So I'm actually very happy with those 2 songs being on this album, because at first I was a bit like, oh, they're wasting 2 spaces with those songs. But no, I appreciate it now. I'm very happy. So thank you, Amy, for giving me what I wanted out of those songs. The other song that I'm very happy that is in there is Your Star. That is one of my favourite Evanescence songs of all time. At one point it was #1 until they released their self-titled album. So I'm happy that that's in there, so that I've got another version of that song to love and appreciate. One song that I'm glad is not on here is my actual favourite Evanescence song, and that is The Change, because I don't think I could handle there being a version of The Change that isn't the one that's on that album or the acoustic one that Amy did live, because that song that means a lot to me, that song. And I don't know, I'm like, don't touch my baby, don't change my child. So yeah, I'm happy that that's not on here, but I like the songs that were chosen. I think they all flow really well. The whole album flows beautifully. It all makes sense. It all sounds that same Evanescence but elevated sound with the orchestra, and it all works, and I really appreciate it. I'm very happy that I own this album. I feel like I had something more. Yes, I do have more to say about the album in general, and that is that I'm very happy with Amy's vocal performance, and the fact that this style of music focuses very much on Amy's vocals. Like, obviously I knew what a good singer Amy Lee was. I've got all her albums, I've seen them multiple times, but this really truly points out what a amazing vocalist Amy Lee is. Like, you can just listen to her pure voice, and the instrumental doesn't take away from it, it just adds, and it elevates her voice more, and I really like that. I also love the fact that this album kind of made me appreciate Evanescence lyrics as well more, because there's less, I feel like there's less to take in than there is with a rock sound, just to my personal tastes. I guess it's because I'm used to orchestral things being in the background of my music, because I like symphonic music. So it made me really focus on Amy's voice and the lyrics that she was singing, and Amy Lee is my favourite lyricist of all time. Yes, Evanescence are no longer my favourite band, we all know this, but Amy Lee's lyrics are unbeaten, and they are so relatable, and they're so honest and heartfelt and emotional. You can really connect, and you really understand what Amy was going through when she was writing these lyrics, and yeah, this really made me appreciate Amy Lee as a human being. We do not deserve her. She's too good for this world. So thank you very much, Amy Lee, for giving me this. I'm just going to check my notes and make sure that I've mentioned everything I wanted to mention, other than I do have another point to make. Yeah, I think I've made all my general points. I do have tickets to see the Synthesis tour next year. I'm going with my friend, who we've been talking about this album pretty much since it got hinted that it might exist. So we've got tickets, and a couple of his friends are coming too, but I don't know those people, so I'll make new friends while seeing Evanescence. That's great. And we have just been like super fanning out at each other. We've been living the fandom dream together, just going nuts about the fact that this is happening, and we're going to see Evanescence and an orchestra. It's going to be so good. We've watched a couple of songs live, but I'm trying to avoid full concerts because I don't want to give too much of it away to myself. Like, I don't want to spoil myself for it, but I saw Lacrimosa live, and it was stunning, beautiful. I can't wait. Like, I'm getting emotional because I just know it's going to be so good, and I might end up crying there. That might happen. But yeah, one of the things I really wanted to talk about is actually nothing to do with the album, and nothing to do really with Evanescence themselves. It's to do with people's reactions to this. Sorry, I'm just going to put the album down for a minute. And that is, I have been putting myself in, you know, in social media to talk about Evanescence, and I'm obviously going to the concert, so I've put I'm going to the concert and things and whatnot, and there's been people saying, this isn't Evanescence. Evanescence are a rock band. It's just Amy Lee and some orchestra. And like, there's been some hate. And I'm like, whoa, have you heard Evanescence's back catalogue? You've obviously only heard, like, the singles to be saying these things. You can't have even just listened to Fallen. I mean, that's got Hello on it, for Christ's sake. If you think this is a shock, you're not a proper Evanescence fan. I'm sorry, but you're not, because this to me made so much sense. Because I've listened to all of the pieces that Amy has done. I've listened to, you know, B-sides that have been taken out and original recordings that got changed, and I have listened to all sorts of Evanescence music, and to me this makes so much sense and I appreciate it and I can't wait to go, and I'm probably going to get emotional. So to see the hate that this whole project has been getting is kind of upsetting, and it just kind of just proved to me how much Evanescence are one of those bands that people will just go for the greatest hits. And yeah, it's just annoyed me quite a lot, because if you truly knew Evanescence, you would not be surprised by this and you'd be desperate for tickets and you would be going. But I've had to read backlash, which I don't understand. I really don't. I mean, what more could you want? Evanescence are giving you some of our favourite songs again and adding more to their sound, and I mean, they're back together. They're recording. There's hints that there's going to be another album coming out. Why are we mad at this, guys? Why are we upset? Yeah, yeah. And I know there's the whole Amy Lee's a diva and we hate her because she gets rid of all her band members and meh. But Evanescence is Amy. It is. Like, you can't deny it. Evanescence and Amy Lee are one and the same, and we've always known that she's wanted to make things just right, just perfectly, her way, and she's struggled her entire career to get that. So, yeah, I needed to rant about this. I'm sure there'll be someone in the comments being like, well, Evanescence are a rock band, and this isn't rock, and but, I mean, yeah, it's not rock. It's kind of a blend of what Evanescence are known as and what they are, and Amy's solo stuff mixed together. And whilst I have said that I'm not too huge on some of Amy's solo stuff, some of it I really love, and it's took the elements that I love, which are mainly Amy's voice and Amy's lyrics, and given me them more and more powerful, and I'm very happy. So yeah, slight rant there, but overall, Evanescence Synthesis, please buy it if you love Evanescence. If you're a little bit curious and maybe you're more into classical side of things, you should probably still give this a go. I know that obviously it was part of a DVD that's on this album, but a lot of the people in the orchestra were saying how much they appreciated being a part of this, because it's something that's within their genre, but it's something so different for them and it's something so unique, and they're really proud that they've done this kind of thing. So it really is a unique piece of music, and it really is a gem. It's a treasure to have this in my life. I'm very happy with it. I mean, I'm biased, but 5 out of 5 stars. Surprise! There is obviously a couple of down points. Like I say, I'm not the biggest fan of Imperfections verses, but within the context of the album, it all works. You need to listen to this as one full album from beginning to end to really truly appreciate what a masterpiece this is. Maybe if you know, obviously you can listen to the songs that they've done on their own, but maybe not the instrumental pieces, and it just works better as a full album, and I'll be listening to this forever. You know, it's definitely a permanent member of my music collection, and I'm very happy to own it in a physical copy as well. I don't like downloading, so I'm glad that this got released in a physical version, because Evanescence have been known to do their downloads only. I should say Amy Lee has been known to do downloads only, like her solo stuff was, and because I was going to buy it, but it was download only, so I didn't, because I didn't like it enough to start downloading things. That sounds awful, but it's true. Anyways, yeah, I'm going off topic by talking about Emily's solo career. If you want to hear about that, I have done a video elsewhere. So let's get talking. What's your favourite track on this album? What did you feel about the new stuff? Did you see any of this backlash that I have seen. Let's get chatting. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.